Halloween
Forever.
You guys hear this, or you know what? I actually know what. I read it. If I'm going to pretend something, I'm just going to pretend I read it in a newspaper. That's where people read things, right? I was reading a thing. Do you read about the thing with the people that are doing the plexiglass coffins? You hear about this?
No, Jay Leno. I didn't hear about this.
Now I'm doing a whole Jay Leno thing. Yeah, apparently people who are like, I don't know if it's you're scared of the dark or something. People are getting plexiglass coffins. I don't know if they'll catch on. Remains to be seen.
Shut up.
Welcome, boys and girls, to a fucking podcast. I am Brian.
Hey guys, I'm your champ. My name is Megan.
Fuck you.
Okay.
That was it.
That's great. I'm Steve.
Guys, professional
it's about fucking time.
podcasters over here. Get ready for it. We're here for another fucking Minisode. And yeah, like Meg already told you, it's a sad day. It's
I'm pretty fucking happy.
We're in mourning. Meg did take back the championship belt after what
months?
4 years, 5 years?
I don't think I've won this year. I was reflecting on that.
Well, you're the only one that's won this year.
Yeah.
Well,
It's 2023.
how many times are we going to go back and forth on this, Brian?
Years are a very specific thing. And the calendar that we exist in, this was the first episode.
Is this our fiscal year or is this a calendar
yes,
year?
our fiscal year. We're just closing out. We're just getting our taxes filed. We're just doing our financial
ends in May
closing
then, okay?
for the year. But yeah, so Meg did win the January Showdown, yes, which is the first one, of course, of the first month of the year. Traditionally, January is the first month of the year. Meg did win that showdown. That was our cosmic horror showdown, which was a lot of fun. And we watched 3 absolute fucking bangers. If you want to go back there and check those movies out. But, you know, hey, it's already been spoiled for you. But some stimulating, if you know what I mean, kind of conversation around cosmic horror. And guys, now we're into what we call the punishment episode. For those of you who are new to the show, that's how it goes. Whoever's the champ, the next episode, they get to pick what we watch. So Meg got to pick what she watched. And you know what? I didn't feel like it was a punishment. I thought it was a nice little movie. Meg, tell the boys and girls what we watched.
You know what? I feel like with my finite time, if I have to watch a movie, I really want to enjoy it.
That's the difference between me and you.
Exactly.
I spend my time
You like
watching
bad
movies
things.
I don't enjoy.
So for this week's punishment, I made it a present, a late Christmas present for myself.
You're just getting into the spirit. In it today,
holiday spirit right here, right now. We watched 1999 Idle Hands, featuring the gorgeous Devon Sawa.
Ooh, hunky boy, and also
Definite hunky boy.
And also, guys, spoiler alert: you're not listening to this live. That's not how podcasts typically work. We're recording this on the 5th of January, which is the 12th day of Christmas. So technically, we are still in the Christmas season. We're in the 12 days of Christmas.
And what's with you're doing a different like holiday tradition here and doing 12 days of Hellas.
Oh,
you know?
what I'm doing is I'm doing a cleanse, guys, because I hear all these people talking about, I got to do a cleanse, I can't drink booze, I'm a pussy. Like, I hear them say all this stuff in January. Just for some reason, just
because I'm not drinking this month, you son of a bitch.
You are a pussy. No, I really think it's funny to make fun of people for doing dry January because it really pisses them off. I don't know why. I don't care. Do what you want. Eat, drink bleach every day in January. I don't give a fuck what people do. But if you make fun of dry January, people get butthurt. And I only
get offended by you.
Yeah. No, I know you're pretend offended, but I'm saying like other people do get
I think
legit
it's a genuine
butthurt.
thing these days.
Yeah, people get. No, I'm saying you get pretend offended. I'm saying, or no, you're genuinely offended. Okay, good. Thanks for clarifying.
She real triggered.
Honestly, that's better for me. But
they'll get over it next month.
I can't get off unless someone's offended. The thing that I find very funny is if you say something about how you're not doing dry January or like fuck dry January, LOL, just like as a joke, people are like, that's my choice and I want to better myself and all this. I'm like, dude, do whatever. I really don't give a fuck what you do, but I do find it funny that you get so defensive of dry January. I am not doing dry January. My whole thing is that like cleanses and like most people's like sensitivities around things and the things they do for the betterment of their health are just made up. That's what I think is funny. And so they're like, oh, I only eat paprika and fucking lemon juice for January and it purifies the like nanobots from my blood or something. Like, shut the fuck up. You know what you're talking about. You saw that on TikTok, you bitch. So I am as
you have a pedestal on this one, don't you?
Yeah, I just think it's funny.
Clearly.
I just think it's funny that people who like dropped out of college the first semester because they like did too much blow are telling people how to like cleanse their blood. You know what I mean? Like, you fucking smooth-brained fucking idiots. So anyway, I just think it's funny to make fun of people like that. But in any case, so my joke was I'm doing a Helles cleanse because Helles is, of course, the purest of all beer styles. And it purifies the blood. As a doctor, as a real life doctor I'm a physician, guys. I'm just kidding. I play one on a podcast, though. I believe that Helles is the purest beer style and that it removes toxins from your blood, strengthens your heart energy, and also allows you to connect on an ethereal level with animals. So that's why I'm doing that for all of January. I'm going to drink at least one Helles every day.
Officially start your cult. Like, I'm just waiting for it. Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to turn your TikTok page into a complete cult.
I haven't posted not even one thing on TikTok, but I am thinking about just starting out going hard with a lot of occult material.
Sick.
Like hard. Just first, right out the gate. First TikTok. What do they call it? They call them, what's a TikTok called? They call it a TikTok? You know how they
it's
call
just
it, like
called a TikTok.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, you call it on Twitter, it's a tweet. What's it on TikTok? It is a TikTok. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
My very first TikTok is just going to be, me trying to convince a bunch of people to kill themselves or something.
In a robe with a bunch of Helleses.
A bunch of Helleses.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm drinking a Helles every single day. Long story short, drinking at least one Helles every single day.
And you're doing that
Purify
for
the blood.
Your 12 Helleses of Christmas.
Well, I'm doing it for the full 31 days of January.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
It's a
Is that what
January
you're
Helles
drinking
cleanse.
right now, or are you drinking that right now?
I actually have two Helleses. I've got...
Sick.
Let's get into the beers, guys. Fine. I'm drinking Carrie from our lovely friends at Burgers Brewing in Zillionopolis.
Boigas.
Yeah,
Is there any sort of stipulations that you have to have like different Helleses almost every day, or at least doesn't matter what kind of Helles?
No, just a Helles, just a good old Helles lager beer. Because then my backup is my go-to, which is the Sly Fox Helles, but hashtag EMP guys. But I also the other night I went to Burgers to eat a burger with my children, and I also had Neil's smoked Helles. So that was my Helles for that day. So
nice.
I'm all over the place.
Variety.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. What do you got?
Well, since I'm not drinking, I actually I snagged one of our shrubs from work because I was like, what the fuck am I going to drink? Am I just going to drink seltzer water? I'm also just like, we've already talked about it. I'm just like, not necessarily, especially after drinking that shitty ass Brewdog fucking like NA stuff. I'm just like, nah, I just don't.
That's horseshit.
I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to drink.
Rather drink a glass of milk.
Yeah, I'm just
milk
gonna.
rules.
I'm just.
Milk does rule.
Wait,
I'd rather
okay,
drink
this
a
is
glass
a
of milk than
sidebar
almost anything.
conversation.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever just like put ice in your milk?
Oh.
No. What do I look like? Some sort of fucking plebe? Who puts ice in their milk?
What is wrong with
just
you?
water it down.
I do. No, but I want it as cold as fucking possible. Like I
Do you
don't
have
drink
a
a lot of milk.
refrigerator?
Yeah, but I want it colder. I don't drink milk a lot, and I don't even actually desire it very often.
That sounds like a poverty milkshake, and I don't like it.
Yeah. I don't even desire it very often. That's a tattoo. I'm going to get that tattoo. I don't even desire it very often. They're like, what? I do. If it was up now, I've cut back in my older age. But when I was a kid, we had a milk. I think we've talked about this. We had a milk refrigerator that was just for gallons of milk, because me and my brother would easily drink a gallon of milk a day, just the two of us.
Jesus.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we chugged milk. Even to a hot day, coming in, drinking a cold glass of milk.
Yeah, again, you add ice, then it's even better.
No, I don't like the ice in any situation.
Hey, I'm feeling judged right now, and I'm gonna go back to my ice.
You're feeling an appropriate thing.
So that's what not drinking does, apparently. No, okay, back to what I'm drinking, Brian. So yeah, I grabbed our fennel shrub, which if anyone doesn't know what a shrub is, it's basically like a non-alcoholic syrup made of a combination of either some sort of concentrated fruit or vegetable, and then you might add aromatics. You're always adding sugar. It literally kind of tastes like a balsamic vinegar.
I was gonna say, and then there's usually vinegar in it.
Yeah, so it's
or
almost
it's lacto, or it's acetobacter fermented.
Yeah, so we do the shortcut way at work, and they just add vinegar. So it kind of tastes like some sort of balsamic vinegar of that particular fruit or vegetable. And fennel sounded tasty, and I mixed it actually with an orange vanilla seltzer that I have, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of funky and weird.
So it's a fennel bulb, not because I was thinking fennel seeds or something.
Oh no, not fennel seeds. Yeah, fennel bulb. Yeah,
I was like, that's some bitch gonna taste like liquid Italian sausage.
Oh God, no. Yeah, no. We use a lot of fennel at work in general, on the bulb itself, and shave it down, and so we always have it around. It's pretty tasty. I like it.
Sounds kind of good. I like fennel. That licorice-y kind of thing that you get from it. It's nummy. What do you got, Steve? Oh, you're drinking a oh wait, no, that's water.
No, this is it.
No, that's the shrub? Oh, wow. Okay, it's very
water.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I always think they're usually the ones I've always had have fruit in them, I guess. So that's what would make it.
I almost brought home the cranberry rosemary one, and that one's obviously bright fucking red, but it just depends on the fruit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see. What do you guys, Steve?
Before I get into my beers, I just want to get into what I want to remind the audience that you're just listening to a Pittsburgh podcast, and as you mentioned, it is January 5th. Which means in 2 days, it's going to be Orthodox Christmas. So I just want you to get your Halishkis out, get your rogies going. We made mention of paprika, and you got to have that on everything. Get your paprikash going. Get your paprikash going.
Yeah.
So
have yourself a hunky little Christmas.
But what I'm drinking is I went back to my trash ways. And I'm drinking.
Trash Can Steve.
Hell yeah. Trash Can Steve. I went to Dancing Gnome. Well, actually, I had to drive all the way to fucking Cranberry to find a Schlenkerla for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fucking bullshit. But while I was there,
I was going to say, where do I usually get it? Oh, I usually get a Vintage, which is the Vintage Estates. Yeah, that's not close either.
No, none of it's close. But while I was there at the distributor I was at, they had a mix and match, and they had a can of this Dancing Gnome, and it's called Primordial Ooze. And gross. It is an IPA hopped with Simcoe and conditioned on the finest Earl Grey tea.
Oh, okay. That kind of sounds good.
I think I had that.
Just the name made it sound like it was going to be super gloop gloppy, but
right. Same. Yeah. I mean, that's why that's why I picked it up at first, because I didn't know Dancing Gnome made Gloop Glop. And then I looked at the can and it said Earl Grey, and anybody who knows me knows I'm a tea boy.
He liked the tea boy. You don't have low tea.
Hell no. I got lots of tea. I got Lapsang. I got Earl Greys. I got English breakfast. I got a whole bunch of celestial seasonings.
Oh, I bet you do.
Yeah. I'm a little tea boy.
You a dirty little tea boy.
If that's not a t-shirt at some point.
I'm a dirty little tea boy. Yeah, how is it? It's good.
Eh. I think
after all that,
Kind of how I felt.
well, like it was canned in November, and there's pretty much like no Earl Grey flavor to it, which is what I was really after. I like good Earl Grey tea beers, and there's a couple of them out there. This ain't one though. This just tastes like an IPA.
Yeah, the one that Roundabout did for a while was real nice.
Yeah, but I feel like you just got more of that like bergamot, maybe a little citrus tone to it. Like,
It was
that's
more
just like,
florally, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I fucking want.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking the other day is somebody should make a beer, and listen guys, TM. I want to make a beer and it could just be a standard dry hopped IPA, but I want to refer to the act of dry hopping as flavor blasting.
Hell yes.
You know how they do like flavor blasted goldfish and flavor blasted Cheez-Its and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Just do a flavor blasted IPA, and it's just a dry hopped IPA, but you just call it flavor blasted.
I think we need to add like a superfluous step to it, and somebody needs to invent some sort of vacuum sealing technology.
Yeah.
So like
do the old school like hop cannon, or like you know what these guys, you know, back like Lagunitas and Dogfish Head used to before they had like modern dry hop recircs technology and stuff like that. They used to just like put shit on, like, didn't Dogfish Head used to like put all the hops on like an old electronic football table or something like that?
Yeah. They used to do dumb shit like, but I got it now. You have to build it, but it'll be a Vitamix that is also a Randall. And so the Vitamix is constantly spinning with like hop in it, and then the beer runs through the Vitamix and then out the other end.
It's like a Randall that just like delivers a tremendous amount of hot side aeration.
Yeah,
oh
and it's just
God.
it's constantly spinning, and it's just constantly spinning fresh hop in it, and it's flavor blasted.
We blasted this bitch. Yeah, we should probably flavor blast something.
But you can market it to the people who like cask beer, and then equally piss them off, but then be like, hey guys, you guys like warmer beer though, you know?
Let's take those 4 people that care about cask beer, piss them off, and then try to sell them something. I love cask beer, don't get me wrong. Love a good cask beer. I think our brewery is one of the few breweries that actually does distribute firkins fairly frequently still. So we actually do like distribute firkins, but we have a lot of them because it's not as popular as it used to be, but maybe someday it'll come back. All right. So we got the beersies out of the way, guys. Before we get into the flicky, we do got to do another thing. First of all, I will remind you, if you're new to the show, maybe the holidays are over and maybe you're like, I threw that goddamn Christmas tree out on the curb. It's 2023. It's time to kill God. Let's look for horror podcasts. And then you found us. Congratulations.
Hey, 2023, just a quick note. 2023, as far as killing God, is off to a hot start, being that the Pope is dead.
Oh, sick. You're right. Wait, did he die in 2023 or was that in 2022 still?
I don't know. I just saw his funeral though, and he was all like laid out and
was
gross.
An ex-pope. He wasn't even. He gave up on being pope. So
he was Nazi pope anyway. So fuck him.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Fuck that guy. Yeah, wasn't he Nazi youth or something? Yeah.
Oh God.
They all were.
Well, you know, people probably were like, it being the new year and probably having the same resolutions as all of us is, you know, they probably Googled how to kill God and they found us. I find that to be,
if we could get our SEO like to a place where we're the first thing that comes up if somebody Googles how to kill God. That'd be awesome.
Sick.
So let's say that happened. And here you are, guys. Welcome. Welcome to the inner sanctum. Drink of the tubi. Take it into your veins. Mix it with cum. Mix it with period blood. Do sex magic. That's what we're here for. Now,
he is really building up his cult. Really.
You guys don't know anything about the sex magic? Come on. Anyway,
it's included in it. I just assumed it was like part of the whole deal. You know what I mean?
It is. It's a whole thing. So anyway, what I was saying is, if you want to follow us over on the social medias, go over there, check it out. It's, at Halloween is Forever or at Halloween is Forever Pod on any number of the social media outlets and Twitters and Instagrams and the TikTokies and Facebooks and all that stuff. If you have suggestions for us for what you want us to talk about on our Showdown episode, or on just one of these old minisodes, definitely throw it out there. We love suggestions. We oftentimes take them into consideration. Sometimes I read them, think it's a great idea, but I'm real stoned and I forget about it. That happens sometimes too. But keep trying, guys. We'll eventually take one of your suggestions. What we do once a month on the first Monday of every single month is we do a Showdown episode. We get a whole bunch of topics that are suggested from our listeners. We take 3 of them off the big old spinny ass wheel, put them on the social medias, and then you guys help us decide by voting on Instagram and Twitter what you want us to do for that Showdown episode. You pick the topic. Once we have a topic, we pick a movie that pertains to that topic. Like last month, it was cosmic horror. So Steve picked Possession and Meg picked Not in the Mouth of Madness. No, what did you pick again?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon, the other Sam Neill movie. There's Sam Neill's in both of them. And then I picked, what the fuck did I pick?
You're
Jesus
wearing
Christ,
this shirt. What the fuck, dude?
Oh, I have a Reanimator shirt on. Yes, it was Reanimator. Brain damage. Yes, so I picked Reanimator, and then we talked and argued, and then Meg gave somebody the Crippler crossface, and then I tapped out, and then she gave Steve the People's Elbow, and then he tapped out. She ultimately won. She gets to pick the punishment episode, which we're dealing with today. It's that time again. We got to pick those 3 topics from the spinny wheel for you to vote on. So, without further ado, Steve, what's potential topic number 1 for our February Showdown, which let's reiterate, February fucking sucks. So let's, this is lots riding on you here, Steve.
Yeah, so February is full of ass. But you added a whole bunch of new you gave me a list and here's a whole bunch of new things to go on that list.
Yep.
The first topic is actually coming from your big old list that you sent me.
Ooh, what is it?
Micro budget gems.
Oh, nice. So micro budget gems. That is basically, zero budget to extraordinarily low budget films. And of course, this topic of size of the budget changes, with time. Once upon a time, when, John Carpenter made Halloween, that was an extremely low budget film. And it cost, depends on who you ask, anywhere from $300,000 to $1.5 million. That was extremely low budget back then. Mm-hmm. And certainly in the 90s, that would have been very low budget. Now people are making awesome films for way less than that because the technology's, relatively cheap nowadays and all this stuff. But let's take a movie like Blood Fart Lake or something like that, right? Yeah. That thing was probably made for $500, or I think it was $3,000.
I think it was between 5 and 10,000.
Yeah, very small budget.
Yeah. So do we want to put a spending limit on this?
We could, but then the question becomes, whose number do you trust? Because sometimes they vary dramatically.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the second one, and maybe we can do a little research on what that number could be.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the second one that came up was apocalyptic horror.
Oh, apocalyptic horror. So that can go in a lot of different directions. Basically, the idea is world's coming to an end. That's all that matters. Can be zombies, can be fucking Sam Squanches, whatever you want. But the world's coming to an end. Could be just a really somber global warming flick. That's fine too. Apocalyptic horror. I already have one in mind that I'm thinking about for that. That's fucked up. We'll see if it lands on that one.
A boy and his dog.
No. Have you ever seen? No, I'm not even gonna say it.
Yeah, don't say it because you give it away.
I'm not gonna say it.
Because maybe Meg will take it. You gotta be careful.
I'm not above these things, Brian.
Yeah, I guess she could. She's a dirty bitch.
She's wily.
Wily. Yeah, you did a whole there's a whole full body thing going on.
I did finally decide what my New Year's resolution actually was for the year, and it's to be a rascal. So, just throw it my way.
Be a rascal.
That is a good resolution. Just to be a dang old rascal.
Yeah.
Just being a dang wascally wabbit.
Yeah. It's not full of, menace or malice per se, but
we're all talking about how we're gonna, our New Year's resolution is to kill God. Meg goes, I'm gonna be a rascal.
Which, you can still kill God and be a rascal. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you didn't say the
like, a little
degree of
sneaky about
rascalosity.
it, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe Meg paints a tunnel, or paints a mountain like a tunnel, and then God runs into it and dies.
Yeah.
She's just being a rascal.
Yeah. He gives him an old lead
real
balloon.
Looney Tunes on this. I like it.
Yeah. It's just the why. If it's being a rascal is like if Wile E. Coyote kills God, or the Roadrunner rather kills God.
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah, I like it.
Your third category for February is Big City Spooky.
Big City Spooky.
Big City Spooky.
So that topic, I think, was one from my list too, and I think the idea there was like something that happens in the big old city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if perhaps Jason was to take Manhattan, a thing like that,
Sure,
would constitute Big City Spooky. But there's a lot of other things. I would say that the idea of like urban horror, would kind of fall into that category as well.
Any Frank Henenlotter, probably.
Yes, a Q the Winged Serpent, perhaps maybe even a Candyman or two would probably fall into there.
Driller Killer.
Driller Killer, yes. I just bought a Driller Killer shirt recently. I guess a thing like that would fall into Big City Spooky. So
A Big City Spooky.
These are all three good topics. Once again, we're talking about micro budget gems, apocalyptic horror, and big city spooky. So in the coming days, you will see a call to action on the social medias on Instagram and Twitter. Go on there. Go on both. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not the fucking boss of you. Vote for one of them. Help us to choose what our showdown topic for February is going to be. And then on the next episode, we will announce our movies so that ahead of that, if you feel so inclined, you can watch them flicks or at least Google them and read the plot synopsis or something like that, so you know what's coming or something. I don't know. Who cares? Okay.
So just to jump back to the micro budget discussion for a second.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I was doing a little bit of research, and it seems a general consensus that the upper limit of a micro budget is $396,000.
That is a weirdly specific number.
You know what this reminds me of is when the Brewers Association kept changing what constitute a craft brewery or what I mean?
Yingling's a craft brewery now. They make 2 million barrels a year. This is what it's
reminding me of. I call
You're
bullshit.
not wrong about that because it's also tied to SAG rates.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying.
So the upper limit of a SAG ultra low budget project is $300,000. So I don't know. We can define it as 400 or 300,000 if we want, I think.
Mm. All right. Well, if we're in that range, I think it probably, is okay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. For a micro budget film. We're talking it's I don't want to say it's a small amount of money, but it's for a film production, a full on film production.
Pricing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Listen, inflation, yada yada yada. All right. So again, micro budget gems, apocalyptic horror, big city spooky. Get out there and vote. All right, we got the beers. We got the wheel spinning happening. Let's get into this fucking movie, Meg. Idle Hands.
Well, I first want to point out, I'm sure you guys noticed pretty early, and I did not actually plan this, is that Jack Noseworthy, that was in my movie, was also in this movie. Guys, look at this. Look at how things come together.
Synergy times a flat circle.
So yeah, we watched Idle Hands, and this cast, I mean, is insanely fun, especially at that time. You have Seth Green, which I feel like he was always playing a goofball. Mm-hmm. Eldon Henson kind of in the same category. Devon Sawa, on the other hand, I mean, he was playing the heartthrob.
He was a heartthrobby type of thing. He also popped up in a movie that we watched recently as well. Do you guys remember the movie that we watched recently that he popped up in?
No, because I got shit for brains too.
We'll just wait and see. Maybe you guys will think about it.
We didn't watch. What was the? Oh, damn it! What was that movie? We didn't watch The Fanatic on this show. So.
Oh yeah, we didn't. We just talked about it. That's what I was talking about. The Fanatic, the one with fucking John Travolta. Sorry, we talked about it, but we didn't watch it.
Yeah, we didn't watch it on here. We just mentioned it.
Sucks. People seem to like it. I thought it was terrible. I hate John Travolta so much.
Terrible, but it's charming in a way.
charming.
Yeah.
John Travolta's the least charming human being on the planet. I do like the ending. I thought it was kind of like out of left field. And it was all right. But like, God, John Travolta is like Tom Cruise. All the Scientologists. I'm not into it.
It's just so hilarious, the choices he makes.
Yeah, it's really wild. It's a guy who has lived in a bubble for 40 years. Like that he's the only... Like somebody, no one who lives in the real world, even as an actor, would make the decisions he makes. Like, it's just wild. What's that other one he was in? Oh, Battlefield Earth. Similar situation.
Yeah.
Where, like, no one acts like this. Like, not acts. Like, they perform like this that hasn't lived in a bubble for 30 to 40 years.
Yeah. It's interesting. Just, I mean, we're on a Travolta fucking kick for a second, but like, it's interesting because he tries to do the Nick Cage things, which, by the way, have you guys seen the trailer for Renfield?
I did see the trailer for Renfield. It looks fucking sick.
It's gonna be a party. But yeah,
I can't wait for
Travolta tries to make like Nick Cage decisions, but for whatever reason, he always ends up on the shit end of the stick. Anytime he tried to does it.
Because he kind of like... He doesn't go as... First of all, I genuinely think he's not nearly as talented as Nick Cage, but also he is just... He looks pretend. Like John Travolta looks like he's made of like silly putty.
He's like an AI character. He's like, he is his
like,
own AI.
Well, he's his own uncanny valley. Like he represents his own like... weird uncanny valley that hits the lizard part of your brain and goes, that's not right, that's not a real person. Don't trust that guy, he's not real.
And Tom Cruise has the same thing.
Same thing. But at least Tom Cruise...
Do you think that's what Scientology is doing? Is they're turning all of these famous people into AI that they control?
In a way, yeah.
And then they probably have everyone else like plugged in like one of their compounds.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think also John Travolta has worse genes than Tom Cruise. Not like denim genes, like his genetics are worse. So like
they're
Tom
both wearing
Cruise,
the same Wranglers.
Yeah. No, Tom Cruise has like, he's been blessed with that gene that makes you like, you can still pass for 30 when you're 60.
Right.
But or 40 or whatever. John Travolta didn't get that. He's just a doughy, like he's got doughy Midwestern genes like I do. So he's like, no matter how much, like the plastic surgery doesn't take with him. You know what I mean? Like it does with Tom Cruise. Like for him, it's like, oh, if you spend $10 million on plastic surgery, you can look like you're 35 forever. If you have those genes, like it can't be one or the other. It's got to be both. John Travolta. John Travolta has the money, but has a bad genes.
Yeah, bad genes.
So it doesn't take.
Yeah, he has to give it up and like just age normally, or otherwise he's going to look like a freak.
Yeah, but he's too vain to do so.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's and too crazy and Scientology-y. And this has been the John Travolta episode, everybody. Thanks for stopping by.
So what you guys are saying is that you guys are really big fans of John Travolta, right?
Thanks for listening to Trashing Travolta.
Spinoff podcast.
New segment.
Yeah.
It could just be a full segment on us making fun of people who are in Scientology.
That's
I'm definitely down on that.
Those guys suck. Anyway, Devon Sawa, you guys. Sorry.
Handsome man.
Handsome man. Good looking man.
Hunky boy. There were a lot of hunky boys, hunky boy and girls in this film. Yeah, we had Jessica Alba, Vivica A. Fox.
Yep.
Who else do we have here?
We had the guy who plays who was the guy? What was the name of the guy? Oh. What was the guy that named the guy who's always talking about his Ford?
Oh, Jack Noseworthy. Yeah, that's
that's
Jack,
the guy you already talked about. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And
He's good.
I don't know if you guys looked at the cast too, because I didn't really look until I was like just pulling it up. Was the guy who plays the hand, which is basically how they did the thing in like the Wednesday show and whatnot. His name's Christopher Hart. He looks like a vampire.
Oh, let me look him up.
Just look him up real fast.
His IMDb photo is like a bad magician.
Oh no, he does. You know who he looks like? He looks like Tiny Tim.
Oh yeah. But like
tiptoe through the window. Tiny Tim.
Yeah. But like not being differently weird because he's being a magician. Yeah. But he's not. Yeah, he's not being Tiny Tim weird. I wonder if they're related, maybe.
But he definitely takes himself very seriously. You know.
He really looks like him. Yeah.
But he played Thing in the Addams Family and Addams Family Values movies.
Oh shit! No, that's
okay,
great.
there we go.
He is
Then he already
he's a
knows how to
hand
do it.
performer.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he also played a magician in an episode of Columbo. Sick.
That's where Steve goes to. He sniffs out the Columbo right
Hell
off
yeah,
the bat.
Columbo.
Oh my god, this is
Oh, yeah,
freaking
Columbo.
hilarious. Man, I just want to know. I want to read his biography. I really do.
It's called "I Gotta Hand It to You" or some funny thing about hands. And we got Fred Willard. I love Fred
All
Willard.
thumbs.
Yeah.
You said Fred Willard though, R.I.P. Right? Yeah, he passed
Yeah,
away. Sad
And
day.
didn't he get like kind of canceled before he
Did he?
died too?
Yeah, he got kind of canceled.
Aw.
But then he
That
also
sucks.
like he kind of did, but then he also was like very upfront about it. And because he's like the driest, Christopher Guest type performer, he was just like, oh yeah, I definitely did that. Like he was kind of like very upfront about it.
Yeah.
Which kind of diffused the whole situation. I don't know. I think I saw an interview with him, before he croaked, but he's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
He really is funny.
Sick.
And then the other one that stood out to me that it was just because like I haven't seen this movie in a while
Mm-hmm.
was one of the cops is a fucking McPoyle on.
Oh, yeah.
A young
You're
version of one of the McPoyle.
Mhm.
Dude, there was a couple other like really ones that like flew under the radar too, because Tom DeLonge was in it.
Yeah, for like
Yeah.
a frame or
22.
two.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was like he was at like he worked in a restaurant or something, I think.
Yeah, he was like at the drive-through or whatever at that Burger John that they went to or something like that.
Yeah, there's so many people in this movie. It's wild.
Yeah, but it's like wild to think. I'm curious, like at that time though, that wouldn't have been weird at all.
No. Yeah, because everybody's kind of on the come up, or it has at least been in other smaller stuff. But then now you see everybody afterwards, and it's like, oh yeah, everybody has done like a whole bunch of shit. The other one, Timothy Stack, the principal for a scene, and I was like, I don't know if you guys remember Son of the Beach.
Mm-mm.
Oh yes, I did not realize that was him. That's a great show.
Yeah, I had to go.
Oh my God.
I found like old episodes on Daily Motion.
Yeah.
after I watched the movie, I was like, oh shit, Timothy Stack. And I was like, I gotta go back.
Son
and
of
watch
the
it.
Beach is like one of those shows that like it'll probably have a resurgence like 10 years from now, and all of a sudden people will watch it again because it was a funny show.
Was that like a Baywatch like
It was- yep,
spinoff
yep,
or like
yep.
or a parody show?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it was a
That's
it was a
fucking
Baywatch
great.
parody show, and then like the very first episode is like they're going over the morning meetings of like the things they have to do. And this was an episode from March of 2000. And he says, and we got to watch out for this Osama bin Laden guy. I guess he's a problem. And this was in 2000. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh no. Oh no. Dark
my God.
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Real life foreshadowing.
Yeah.
funny.
A couple people I didn't realize that now I'm looking through it. Apparently that same in the Burger Jungle, where he goes through the drive-through, Kyle Gass is in it too.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I couldn't find him.
I didn't notice that. And then who's Robert Englund's in it? When did that happen?
Where does it say? It says
Let me see.
I see Ricky Martin also is listed.
Really? So
Yeah.
I'm just trusting Google
Yeah,
here, and
yeah,
it says
I'm not-
Robert Englund's in it. I'm like, where was Robert Englund?
I don't
might
see
be made
that.
up.
I don't see that on the IMDb's.
Yeah, that might be a Google.
I know another burger joint guy was that Joey Slotnick. I mean, I've definitely seen him. I don't like him pointing out.
Are you going to
Rackham,
talk
but
about
he's
Bones?
definitely-
Don't talk about
He's
Bones,
been in
Mick.
so many things.
Was it like all of those like ABC or NBC type S shows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that's where I've seen him. I'm just like, he just has such a familiar face. Like you see him and you're like,
Yeah.
where?
Oh yeah,
haven't
he's been in a million. He's probably played 20 different characters in 50 different episodes of Law and Order SVU
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, not to denigrate him or anything. Like he's
great.
He's always
great.
yeah, he's just always been a background character. But yeah, like
Yeah.
obviously he's great because he doesn't not get work.
What
He
is
kind of
he?
looks like Tom Green a little bit.
I could see that a little bit. But he looks like somebody else too. I can't think of what the heck he was in something long running. The Single Guy. Do you remember The Single Guy? That was a mid-90s sitcom. He was in that because I remember my parents watched that because I'm like, what do I know? Like, what do I can imagine him telling a joke and then there being a laugh track behind it. And I'm like, where am I remembering? And I think it's from that.
Yeah.
I had to watch every like network sitcom in existence when I was a kid because that was my parents, like that was their shit.
Well, before we start remembering Herman's head, let's continue on into fucking.
Yeah, I'm actually I was just trying to look and see what character Robert Englund played.
Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, they take the time to list Ricky Martin as an uncredited guy in the parking lot of the burger joint. I don't think they would miss Robert Englund.
That does seem trying weird. To make any dollar he can.
Yeah. Cool. It might have been like there was a Freddy poster in the back and they got credit for that or something.
Yeah. So the basic premise of this film is that there is this demonic figure or character that is basically killing a bunch of people in this like very small town, and shit goes wild. But we can break it down where we really start off the movie with Fred Willard and Connie Ray, which who also looks really familiar, but I'm just trying to place her. She kind of was like the universal mom in the 90s kind of look, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's very recognizable, but I can't off the top of my head think of what she was in.
They're going to bed, and when they turn off the lights, look up, there is something written on the wall that says, "I'm under your bed." So basically we know that they're going to be like the next attacked, and you're kind of hearing the background on the news that something's happening, like people are being killed. So like stay indoors, yada, yada, yada. I'm really good at describing these guys.
Stay indoors, yada, yada, yada.
Everybody's
blah,
dead.
Blah, blah. There's a lot of blah, blah, blahs.
Everybody's dead. Credit sequence.
Yeah, everyone dies. So they hear a noise downstairs, and the dad goes downstairs to check it out. We hear some noise. We hear some yelling. Guys, we hear some yelling.
Guys yelling.
That means trouble. Happening. That means someone went.
I forgot this started at I forgot this movie was set. So I only have seen this movie one other time, and I saw it in the theaters. Actually, do you guys remember for Pittsburghers, Western Pennsylvania? Remember when there was that theater on 18, like in that weird plaza, like not right up the road from like the Crazy Horse and shit?
Oh, okay.
Remember when there was that theater?
That's not for Pittsburghers, Brian's. That's for Beaver Countyans.
Straight up. Well, that might be Beaver Lawrence County border there, guys. A little inside baseball. Anyway,
you just said many words, and I was like, I don't know if it's because I'm not from Pittsburgh or you're just saying
that's okay,
random
Meg.
words.
Like, even I didn't go to that theater. That's too far out.
It was a shit theater, but it was the closest one to me.
It's for the degens, like Brian.
I went to Showcase Cinemas in Robinson. That's where everybody went, Brian.
Oh, you're fucking fancy pants over there. I saw it there when I was like 14, and so I haven't seen this movie since then. And I forgot it was even set at Halloween.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
It kind of makes it even more fun, I think.
It was. I appreciated that.
Their decorations, like imagine what's the famous painting they had the two pumpkins named after? It's the
American Gothic.
American Gothic.
Yeah. So they basically had like pumpkin head American Gothic characters. I was like, this is a sick decorations that maybe we should all steal. Brian, if it's not at your house next year, then I'd be a little disappointed.
I could do that. I could pull that off, I think. This scene here reminded me of another movie which I've been meaning to use as a punishment episode for when I inevitably take back the championship belt, which is rightfully mine, is Deathbed, the Bed That Eats.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It's
definitely will remind you of that one.
But shit, it's terrible.
Yeah, so basically leading us into our next scene. So the mom doesn't go downstairs to actually check out what's going on, or she does, and then all of a sudden she falls, she sees blood. She's trying to call 911. Phone gets ripped out of her hand. She goes down to grab the phone, look under the bed. Why would you look under the bed? Okay, this is when I'd be yelling at the TV. These are those type of moments. She gets pulled under the bed, and I actually kind of love this because then all of a sudden the bed just like it seems like the bed just eats her.
Yeah.
Well, that's the deathbed thing. It reminded me of because all of a sudden it just like belched out blood.
Yeah, there's just a big
sick.
splat.
I actually liked it.
Yeah.
Splat. And then kick it over to we meet Devon Sawa's character, Anton. He's such a weird name in this, but I had to get over it. But it was so distracting.
Such a thing in 1990s. Everyone had to have eccentric names. Everything, like this guy's name is literally Anton Tobias. That sounds like a made up, like,
yeah, it sounds like a made up person, almost as if somebody wrote a script.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds like somebody pretending to make up a name in a script, like on, Curb Your Enthusiasm or something. They were like, my name's Anton Tobias. Like, it sounds like a Seinfeld bit. You know what I mean?
You have to wonder if Anton was like a funny,
like an anagram or something.
Not an anagram, but just like we're referencing Anton LaVey.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I was almost even thinking of like something that I don't know if like the whole name Anton Tobias has like these biblical feels, if they were trying to be clever at that point and pulling something kind of same idea, but maybe going biblical with it. I don't fucking know.
I think Tobias definitely sounds like a biblical name. I don't know if it is or not, but it sounds like it.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, so we kick it over to him, and he's just completely oblivious, wakes up, goes downstairs just yelling for his mom, but then is out of weeds, so heads over, and this is where we meet Seth Green's character, Mick, and we meet Eldon Henson's character, Nub? How do you say
Nub?
Nub.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Christ.
P-Nub.
Again, a weird fucking name. Can't keep up with all these weird names. Yeah, so a lot of this seems like pointless. We're just getting like to know the characters a little bit, getting to know the drama, because then we find out, we see Jessica Alba's character Molly come back, and she's on a motorcycle, which I find her character to be funny because like I think how they play her off to be, but she rides a motorcycle, and I'm like, okay, that's really fucking cool. I want her to be like this badass chick the whole film, and then she's just like the typical. You would have seen her just as much in American Pie as you would have seen her in this movie.
Yeah. They try to make her, because she like writes songs, and that's why like Anton likes her. But then also she's just like the most stereotypical, maybe even more than almost any other movie this time. She's like this typical like sex pot, like. She almost just like every time she talks, she's almost like oopie doopie. Like she's like, you know what I mean? She's like Betty
It's like
Boop
a caricature
almost.
of like, who, like I didn't know anyone who was even remotely like this. That's what I think was silly about these 90s movies is like, they made it seem like this is what high school is and this how it could
like
be.
Like teenage girls all wear negligees, desperately want to fuck like dirty guys.
They definitely leave out like a whole like backstory for her that like she has a reputation at school. Like
it does seem like that.
Like she probably gives a lot of hand jobs in the band room and like that's her thing.
That's all the band room's for.
Right. Well, everybody's band room was, but
dry.
She was mostly offended that he had the book because at the end is a list of everyone she gave a hand job, because she's also very I don't know what the word is. She wanted to keep
adjectives.
Gotcha.
All right, that joke's over now.
But she's also like, I guess several of them are, but she definitely looks to be way too old to be in high school as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I was trying to think.
I mean,
she does, but then like they put her next to her friend Tanya, who also looks way too old to be in high school.
34.
Yeah.
Tanya's a divorcee. Like Tanya is not in high school.
Tanya has like 2 DUIs.
For sure. Tanya is on her second strike.
Oh my gosh. This is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, that was a thing that happened all the time in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like they would put,
I had I was kind of running my, it's like I said, again, it's been a while since I've watched this movie. So I was kind of running like my 90s checklist of like, actors that are too old for the parts that they're playing, too old for high school. And then like it also hits the other trifectas of casual homophobia,
or really aggressive homophobia.
Or really aggressive.
Well, here's like another weird thing is that Devon Sawa is also he's 3 years older than Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely looks too old to be in high school.
Yeah, he looks too old. They just gave him like the simple Jack haircut.
Yeah.
I don't know. He looked way younger than she did. But anyhow,
Yeah.
keep going.
Well, I think it's because they had her all like sex potted up, and he was just had a child's haircut. Yeah.
They just made him look like garbage and dumb. But I mean, you also kind of believe that he got left back a lot because of his character.
Because he's like a fucking idiot. Yeah.
Then it also hits the other two points of saying tard in some sort of fashion.
Yes, always 100%.
And then there's only one character of color, and not counting Jessica Alba. And then you barely see that character anyway.
Yeah, that is the most 90s thing, is like tons of sexism, tons of homophobia, like kind of thinly veiled racism, or just complete exclusion of anybody who's not white. Like I wrote in my notes, just to summarize that, is I always forget that 1999 was 100 years ago.
Right.
Like that's what it feels like.
Like it's probably reaches, like you can run this checklist probably up to like 2008, 2009. And
yeah. That was the very, very end of it. Like, 2008, 2009. I would agree with that. It was, but this movie, for whatever reason, and like I said, I saw this movie in the theaters. Like I was 14, 15 when this came out. It feels 100 years old.
Yeah. Oh, the only punishment part of this film, though, like the film's not, it still kind of holds up in a lot of ways. But like, if you ignore all the other stuff we just mentioned, but like the only punishment part of this film is the fucking soundtrack. It is the worst fucking movie.
Bite your tongue.
No.
Bite your filthy tongue. Dragula. We were digging through ditches. We were burning through witches.
I unironically listened to Dragula and other songs off Hellbilly Deluxe. That one's fine.
Great album.
And then Pop Your Pussy by the Two Live Crew is also fine.
Yeah.
Everything else is dog shit, industrial garbage, and Sublime, which also fucks Sublime. I'm glad he's dead.
Whoa, buddy. Again,
Hot
now
take.
this is your pedestal right now.
Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. I'm not glad he's dead, because if he hadn't fucking died, we wouldn't have to listen to the same fucking 3 songs for the next 20 years.
That's true.
Yeah, he might have ruined his reputation, and we probably would never listen to him again.
Same thing. It's like the Doors. If Jim Morrison hadn't died, everyone would hate the Doors, because the Doors aren't that good. And Jim Morrison was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like it's just, nobody would like the Doors if he survived. It's like Bob Dylan. If Bob Dylan's a legend, he's great, but he outstayed his welcome. Nobody likes him anymore. He's fucking annoying.
I don't know.
If he died in 1980, everybody would be worshiping him.
I don't know. I don't feel that same way about Bob Dylan or Willie Nelson. Like they're both, I don't know.
No,
I feel like they just
an angel. He's a sweet, sweet angel.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think either of them are bad guys, but like, I feel the same way about Kurt Cobain. Like if he hadn't died, because the window you get is Eddie Vedder, and Eddie Vedder became like a weird lute player. Could you imagine like 45-year-old Kurt Cobain like deciding he's going to take up the theremin and like be really obnoxious about politics?
But then he'd also have like a Twitch channel,
right? Yeah,
where he'd play like Candy Crush on Twitch. Yeah. But I have mixed feelings about. Oh, go ahead, Meg.
No, nothing. I'm like you guys are bashing this. Like I liked it to a certain extent for like the nostalgia aspect of it. I'm like, even hearing Blood Clot right off the bat, I was just like, okay, all right.
It's definitely nostalgic. Well, and I'll even say
it doesn't placed well in certain regards, like especially like maybe seeing it as an adult. I'm like, it seemed like this person doesn't seem like someone who would be into Rancid. So it doesn't totally, like, that's the only weird thing to me, But hey guys, time and place for all these musicians. Let them be.
And that's the thing is also like, for when I was 14, I thought it was fucking rad. You know what I mean? Like I liked Sublime. You know what I mean? I loved Rob Zombie. My first, guys, I'm going to say this for all the world to hear. The first album I ever bought with my own money was a cassette of Smash by The Offspring. Now, I think 10.
Yeah.
So it's okay for a 10-year-old to like The Offspring. But I will say I have a lot of good memories of that album.
And you know what?
Because I listened to it on my tape deck, my Walkman.
I will say I do appreciate in the film that they do the best. Like they could have played like anything off Ixnay on the Ombre, or even I think hadn't Americana come out at this point.
I don't remember.
I think it had. But
is that pretty fly for a white guy?
Yeah, that's
Oh Christ!
But they went all the way back into the deep catalog and played the movie appropriate song of "Beheaded," which I believe is off their first EP. So
that's such a Misfits ripoff song.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, it's literally them just wanting to do their version of Skulls, but also they play a cover of "I Want to Be Sedated" as well. Yeah. Which is not bad. They do it okay. This is the thing. If the Offspring was just a cover band that I watched at Big Dogs in Elwood City, they'd be great. I think they were fucking awesome. But the fact that they were like bajillionaire mega stars is a little much.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah. It was a lot.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah. We're one scene into this movie.
I know.
We're one scene in, and we've already destroyed the soundtrack.
Dracula, no matter what happens, Dracula's on it, and that makes it sick.
Dracula was on everything back in that day, and
I know, but it's so good.
Americana had come out at this point too. So,
and you see the music video for Dracula too, which is such a fucking cool music video too. In a funny, stupid, also genuinely very awesome, and I love it way.
Yeah.
While you guys were ranting about this, I was just like reading some more notes.
You're just doing some light reading while Steve and I were just fucking going off.
Pulled out a whole big book here that I didn't realize Robot Chicken did an episode Dragon Nuts, but in the sketch they did Idol Nuts. I need to now find this. I can only imagine that there's like possessed balls.
You'd assume.
Sounds about right. Yeah. And especially with the Seth Green connection,
right.
I'm sure there was a lot of self-deprecating stuff there. Although we'll get into it. I don't want to jump ahead too much, but did we go through the part with the one of my favorite lines? There's a few lines I'm not even gonna front that I laughed out loud at. One of them was, "This ain't Domino's, you lazy bitch." It's a great line, which I think happens right around this time. It's like basically,
we're right there with it. Yeah. So Anton goes to return said book to young Molly.
Molly.
Already, guys, don't
Molly is Jessica Alba. Yeah.
I hate going through all the details of this because this is just silly setup BS stuff. But we eventually come to find out. Anton goes back to his place, and as he's hanging out, both Mick and Nub come over, and they're now like Anton had just found his parents dead, so he's just like, what the fuck? He's trying to show them that they're dead, and they're just watching. Is that the video that you guys are referring to?
That was the Two Live Crew video, I think, was in this scene.
Okay. So they're getting distracted by that, and then come to find out. But this is like when we start putting things together that Anton is the fucking killer. Yeah, or basically his hand, which, okay, we'll give it here. This is where it's all loose and a little bit.
Well, he was like, I think he was supposed to start being possessed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is where the plot, I think for them, a little bit off, it doesn't really totally come together because it comes off like he's like a killer himself. But in theory, like, it's just his hand.
Yeah.
But did his hand kill his parents and he didn't know? Because up until this point, everybody he's killing with his hand now, he knows and is trying to stop his hand, but he didn't know before that. I am not sure.
So maybe the only thing I can put together for this plot is that he was sleeping and he just didn't realize he didn't wake up.
He was in a stoner dream. I
guess so.
He probably smoked before bed, went to bed, was in a coma. Because one of the his other victims are the Feldstein twins at the burger joint. And so you assume that he was high and had munchies and went to the burger joint, but like doesn't remember killing the two guys at the counter.
Yeah, that's it.
Brian,
listen, I smoke weed every single night before bed. I have never done something like left the house and forgot about it.
But you're also not possessed by the devil.
That's true. I'm not. Well, not that you know of. But the other thing was that I like as a person who does appreciate marijuana drugs, I was like the guy. So he comes to the house because he doesn't have any more weed, and he smokes out of his little like pretend inhaler that's just a bowl like around his neck, which is kind of like that's just such a high school thing to do. Yeah, I would definitely have thought that was awesome when I saw it the first time. But whenever he goes over to his buddy's house and was like, "Hey, I'm dry. I need some weed, and I need a dime bag or whatever," and they come over and they're like, "Oh no, we smoked it all." And then he, like, when they leave, he pulls like a fucking quarter pounder of flour out of the couch. Yeah. And I'm like, you prick. Like, the poor guy just wanted a dime bag. This dude has like a fucking quarter pound of weed in a bag.
But you know what, Brian? He came over and he wasn't wearing pants, and there's no way he was going to pay for that.
That's true too, but it's his buddy. Give him some weed, and it's not like it's your last bud. You literally have a pound.
I'm on the side of Steve here, like where he probably is consistently like he not only doesn't go to school at all, and he probably doesn't pay for any weed that he smokes. So
he's a piece of shit. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, he's a piece of shit. He's a hunky
like
piece
a parent
of shit.
Who's talking about kids who do drugs. This is now turning into a PSA. Hey, folks. Do all the drugs you want.
Yeah, but also, Brian.
And if you have shrooms, give them to me.
Yeah. But also, Brian, you have to consider this is 1999, and both Mick and P-Nub are also in high school. So, like, where are they getting it from? Their supply is limited. It's hella illegal back then, and all they're smoking is fucking Reggie, is for sure.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. This is like garbage weed. So like that amount of weed nowadays would be like 6 months worth of weed. Like back then.
Weed is like the back in my day type thing.
Oh, yeah,
that everyone says. I can't tell you how many times even I don't. It's so ingrained and it kind of just like passes it by. But when I pay attention, like you just said, that weed today is just like so much stronger. But I hear this all the time, and I obviously know it's true, but I feel like it's like one of those I had to walk 3 miles in 5 feet of snow type things.
So like my dad was this big stoner when he was a kid, and he's probably, I'm sure he's listening to this right now. Shout out to Jeff Reed. He's probably listening to this right now. And like he used to say, like, he would do a joint in the parking lot of high school before he went in, and then still function. Like he would smoke a whole joint by himself, or him and his buddy or whatever, and then just go into school. Like weed nowadays, if you smoked a whole joint, even between you and somebody else, like good quality weed, you would just be fucking like, I couldn't function in school as a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like weed, and even when
and I love it so much, and I love the story about your dad.
Well, when I smoke with like older people like my dad, which we will occasionally smoke weed together, he just gets destroyed because he smokes it like he used to when he was a kid, where it's just like hit it like it's a freaking cigarette, and then you're like, I'm dead, my brain's dead. Let me
fuck with your brains for a second.
Yeah.
Weed was legalized in Colorado 10 years ago.
Oh wow.
So they've had 10 years of doing the same kind of shit that they do with hops, as far as like crossbreeding and really putting it into the lab. It isn't just some fucking guy doing, crossbreeds. They can actually measure THC. They can do legal shit with it. And so it's had 10 years of good grow, and now it kills everybody.
Now it just wrecks your brain. We had a cookie the one day. It was like 100 milligram cookie or something, shit like that. And we like, I'm going to eat a crumb of this. You know what I mean? Not a crumb, but you get what I mean. Yeah. Like I'm going to just go num, num, num and do a little nibble. Long story short, we'd be strong, guys. We'd be strong nowadays. This is the most tangent-ridden episode I think we've ever done.
It is, because it's such a silly plot. Honestly,
it's a silly plot, and I feel like most of our audience has seen this movie. So
for sure. Yeah. So going through each and every scene. So just going over the basic premise, Anton now knows his hand at the very least is possessed, and he kills Mick and Nub. Is it P-Nub or Nub? Because you first told me it was Nub.
I thought it was just Nub.
I don't know.
Correct me.
Well, no, it says P-Nub. It says P-Nub on.
But the P is probably silent.
It could be
like pneumatic.
It could be like Freem.
Oh, it might be. I have no idea.
It's like the Freem Brewery. It's the P. It's the
P silent.
Yeah.
There's another great line that I laughed out loud at this one is when he's like trying to tell his buddies that his like they're not getting the idea that the parents are dead. Like they're like dancing to 2 Live Crew and shit. He's like, hey, dickheads, someone killed my parents. First of all, love when somebody calls somebody else a dickhead. Yeah. Love that insult. Second of all, hey, dickheads, someone killed my parents. Great line.
Solid for sure. So Mick and Nub are dead. But they come back to fucking life. But they come back to life. This is after Anton ends up going over back to Molly's house, gets a little freaky deaky with her, figures out he can tie up this hand and kind of control it a little bit, buries everyone, and then Mick and Nub come back to life. But, you know, Nub is headless and Mick has the bottle on his head, which I actually think is a great
there's some fun practical effects in here. Yeah. Like there's some shitty CGI too, but there's also some fun practical effects.
The CGI doesn't hold up as much, but there's not a whole lot of it in the film.
No, it doesn't feel egregious.
But yeah, I looked into who was doing practical effects on this film because like it was surprisingly good. Like the 2 dummies of the parents that fall over.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
I was like,
those are
they're
good.
Fucking dummies. I was like, oh, they look great.
Yeah, and the way the faces were like kind of
distorted.
Remind me of The Ring a little bit.
Yeah. So kind of the lead special effects artist on this is Greg Canum. Not Cannon, but Canum. And if you go into his portfolio, he just like banger after banger after banger. Like he started, not started, but like one of his early ones is Vamp.
Oh, with Grace
Jones, yeah.
Grace Jones, yeah. Let's say Grace Kelly.
Too early.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So he started on Vamp, and like he's kind of a guy that's like gone back and forth. But like he did The Lost Boys, he did Big Top Pee Wee. So,
oh my God, I love everything Pee Wee. But
yeah, he did. Let's see what else.
That makes sense. Why Grace Jones and Pee Wee are like good friends, literally in real life. She sang Little Drummer Boy on the Pee Wee's Playhouse Christmas special.
Yeah, you told us about that
a
couple episodes,
awesome.
And we never watched it. But the one that stuck out to me that I was like, oh wow, that's fucking crazy. But he did the makeup for all of the villains in Dick Tracy.
Oh my God, that's some of the best practical effect work. Like that is one of the, we don't talk about it because it's not horror,
right?
But it kind of is. It is. It's like a pulp comic noir horror type of thing, and it's some of the best practical effect work ever.
It's so underrated. And like
I love Dick Tracy.
Yeah, and then he also did The Mask, and like some of his newer stuff was like he did the Curious Case of Benjamin Button. He did the character makeup that turned Christian Bale into Dick Cheney in Vice.
Oh wow.
So like
I still can't believe that happened.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's so weird.
So yeah, like this guy
Batman played Dick Cheney.
I know.
Batman played the Penguin. The real life Penguin, Dick Cheney.
Yeah, the real life Penguin. I'm gonna get you, Osama. But like
shoot my friends in the face with a shotgun.
And then there was another guy who also worked on this film. Like I'm pretty sure you can click on anybody's name in the special effects character fucking work. But like there's another guy that stuck out to me, Peter Abramson, and he worked on like both of the Hellboy movies, and one of his early ones was doing the like mechanical blobs stuff in the 88 Blob. So like
nice.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I just watched Hellboy 2 nights ago. Love that movie.
So like, yeah, there's a lot of pedigree to the special effects in this film. That's why they don't fucking suck.
I didn't look what the budget was, but this movie cost a fucking fortune. It had to. Like with some of the talent, the way it's shot, the music, they had the Offspring, and like
25 mil.
Makes sense.
Is that what it says? Yeah, I would totally believe that. If I would have guessed probably 30. That this movie was. For a goofy horror movie, they dropped some fucking coin on this movie.
Yeah, they really did. But yeah.
Guess what the box office was, though?
Box office looks like it was bad. Looks like it was 4 million. Yeah.
4.2.
Oh, no. I would have thought it did okay. I mean, just the fact that I saw it as a kid doesn't necessarily mean it went, it did great on that theater on 18 out there by the nudie, by the strip joint out there.
Yeah, by the nudie bar out there, out near the climax, it seemed to do pretty well.
Right up the street by an adult bookstore, just up from, there's like 14 pornos places right on 18.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's right off the turnpike, so it's just like trucker heaven. Yeah.
There's a bunch of truckers, like they would go into the movie and they get all horned up by Jessica Alba in her panties at the end. And then they just walk over to the bookstore.
Yeah. Well, and there's all those weird motels there. And when I used to deliver pizzas, we used to deliver pizzas to those motels. And there was always wild shit going on in those motel rooms. Like at the Lark Motel and shit up there.
Ugh.
I need at least one story now.
Or I'll give you one. There used to be a lot of sex workers who frequented those motels up there, and they were you could do the old by the hour thing, and so we used to, between that and the adult bookstore, me and my friend John, who worked at the pizza shop, used to fight for who was going to deliver, because we both were delivery boys. Who were going to deliver up there, because you always saw boobies. Oh, there was always boobies. when you went into the adult bookstore, because it was one of those ones that had the peep shows. You went in and there was dancing on the other side of the glass type situation, or you'd go across the way to the old Lark Motel or whatever the hell's over there, and there was always just truckers with a bunch of sex workers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was wild.
That's funny.
Yeah, the dude who worked there was really, he was always on the verge of passing out from a heroin overdose. I think.
Oh, nice.
You would walk in and he would just be like, "What are you doing?" And we'd be like, "Shut up, we're delivering pizza."
Oh, look,
you gotta buy something. How old are you? We're like, "I'm a pizza boy."
I'm a pizza boy.
The dancers order sandwiches. We've seen you 3 times this week.
Damn.
So I just would go deliver a steak hoagie to this,
to the sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah, it was weird times.
I love it.
There you go.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Anywho, I'm just gonna bring Vivica A. Fox into this just to cover that this is just another part of this plot. That the whole point is she's now trying to track down, because she has been tracking this hand down, or this. Do we actually know exactly? It's
just some sort of demon entity.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they gave us.
It's just a demon entity, and she's just a demon hunter. This.
She has a
druid
watch.
High priestess is what this wiki says about her. Sure. She's basically tracked it down that this thing is now in this town that they're in and whatnot. She links up with, oh my gosh.
Randy.
Randy.
Ford guy.
Gets a little Randy. Oh, guys, backtrack. Let's talk about the yeets real fast, because Debbie gets yeeted real good.
Oh yeah, she does get yeeted. Yeah, she gets yeeted.
Cat got yeeted.
The
cat got yeeted.
The cat was the ultimate yeet, I feel like. That was when I first texted you guys. I was like, man, we got some good yeets.
Yeah. Good yeets. Good yeets.
Yeet factor, 10 out of
good
10.
Yeets with Alton Brown.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Yeaton Park's the place for yeets.
Oh my gosh. Can you make a t-shirt of that one?
Yes, I can.
Yeaton Park.
Yeaton Park.
Yeaton Park.
Yeaton Park's the place for yeets.
Oh man. This is beautiful.
No one knows what Eaton Park is that doesn't live in West Virginia.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I already made a shirt for Hop Nation that's shit and fard, so it doesn't matter.
So if you haven't seen this yet, I busted out laughing really hard. Steve made a shirt for Meg that's a Wu-Tang.
Oh yeah, cream.
Cream.
Horses roll everything around me. It's great. It's fucking
Live
great.
today.
Yeah.
I still think the other idea that Brian pitched has got to get worked out.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah.
Eaton Park.
Yeah. No, the to be baptism.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Vivica A. Fox, she's that's not her. That can't be her real name.
No.
First of all, I know
maybe
She's a fox.
She is a dang stone cold fox, but there's no way that's her real
Let's
name.
see.
But that
Vivica
anyway.
and Janetta Fox.
Oh wow.
Oh. cool. I like that. I like when you find out that it's like Carmen Electra. Like there's no way that's her real name.
Right.
But I just always assume Vivica A. Fox. There's no way that's her real name. Because it's like, she's super hot. She's a fox. I get it. But anyway, weird scene that I didn't remember when I obviously didn't strike me as odd when I was 14 is when the guy who always talks about his Ford truck, the Ford tough guy, who he gets really horny because he has to give her mouth to mouth because she's dying.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real weird scene.
Weird. Well, that was right after she got yeeted.
Yeah, that's after she got
right
yeeted.
after she got yeeted. Yep.
He also has another weird moment though, and it's when they're at the burger joint, like memorial for the Feldstein twins, and he's there trying to pick up Tanya, and like
I forgot about this. I didn't write it
and
down.
she tells him the story about how she called them tards and told them to go blow each other, and then he immediately gets this weird fascination where he just goes, and did they? It's so
oh my god, I forgot completely about this. I was crying laughing at this because these twins got murdered.
They're at their memorial. It's so fucking bizarre and
calls them
I told them we couldn't date because there's two of them and one of me. And I told them to go blow each other. And just like, that's offensive enough as it is, but then just the way he's just like, and then did they?
Oh my god. Oh, that tickled me so much. I can't believe I forgot to write that down. Oh my god. Well, I watched part of this movie last night and like the last like 30 minutes earlier today, and oh my god, I was pissing myself at that part.
Guys, I just found another small world thing.
Okay.
With this movie, the woman who plays Tanya, Katie Wright, her brother is Jack Noseworthy.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, I'm just creeping around a little bit.
Oh,
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he does. He gets all like, so did they do it? Like he gets like, kind of interested whether these twins blew each other.
yeah.
Really fucking
Like
funny.
he just like lets go of all of his horniness for a second. Like, oh, but that would be really interesting if they did.
He does. It's such a weird character decision because he literally stops everything he's doing, goes straight face. He's like, they do it?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just like, aha, that's funny. Did they do it? It was like, seriously, tell me. Like, I need to know.
And his whole character is weird overall because you expect him to be like the fucking bully.
But he's kind of, and you almost like, even like he's like the hunk or like even a love interest, like everyone would be fawning, but he seems mildly asexual.
Yeah, you're like, because he's kind of is like this greaser badass. So you're like, oh, it's fucking pony boy over here, baby face, badass with a heart of gold kind of thing. But then he's just a fucking weirdo. And then he also like, apparently he's in high school, right? Or he's supposed to be
he's out of high school.
No, he's around. Yeah, because he's late
again,
teens, early 20s.
Yeah, in that scene where he's trying to pick up Tanya, he's like, I'm like 3 years out, but you're still in, aren't you?
Yeah. That's right. So he's kind of like the Matthew McConaughey character from like Can't Hardly Wait kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or is it Can't Hardly Wait? What's the name?
Fast Times? Fast Times?
No, it's not Fast Times. It's Dazed and Confused.
There you go. Yeah.
Can't Hardly Wait is the one with Seth Green.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. But anyway, he's a weird character. And he even, when he does that little like speech about how like, and he does the 90s thing where they say the title of the movie. And he's like, that's why I work on my Ford so much. Idle hands, keeps me out of trouble or whatever. It's just like, I don't know. He is a very fucking.
Yeah. But he also like is a hero in some ways. You don't expect him to be a hero like at any point until the end. And it's like, oh, okay. And even then he just turns into like a sidekick because he's trying to get pussy. Yeah.
Well, that's that's the whole thing here is like, you get laid, bro. That should be like the in parentheses subtitle of this movie.
He is a simp for Vivica A. Fox, which you can't fault him for that.
Yeah,
but
I was to say I might be too.
Right. I think we all would be, but
yeah.
But like that's his character. He's like a simp.
Yeah. Oh man.
Pretty much. It's pretty sick. Where we at, guys?
I don't know.
Again,
Good fast forward noise.
We're gonna. We're definitely fast forwarding to the dance.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Get to the school. Vivica A. Fox, Jack, the catch, Anton. First thing, they beat him the fuck up. They're like, I don't have my hand. And they're like, oh my God, the hand's loose now. She finally realized that, you guys. The hand's loose.
Guys, by the way, he cut his hand off.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You get it. The movies,
You've seen
get it.
Yeah,
you've seen it.
before.
And if you don't, you can explain it to him in 5 seconds. Possessed hand, he cuts it off. Shenanigans ensue. That's the whole movie.
Shenanigans. So at the dance, now we have basically the hand actually locks everyone into the room. I just wish the hand had a name. Can we come up with a name for the hand? That'd be really fun.
Yeah. Angela.
All right.
I don't know.
Angela locks everyone into the gym while Offspring is playing. Hand drops on lead singer of Offspring's head. What's his name? Let me see.
Dexter.
Dexter.
Fucking Dexter. That's a great name. He looks like a Dexter piece of shit.
Yeah. You guys, leave the Offspring alone, all right? Come on. We've done enough to him already.
Dexter has 2 PhDs, Meg. Be a little more respectful.
That's
Be
fucking
respectful.
awesome. He's a doctor?
Yeah.
One is in bitches and the other one is in hoes. So, this movie is very sexist,
You know what?
guys.
Dexter Holland actually kind of looks like Nub's character, or looks like Eldon Henson a little bit.
Yeah,
like
they
when he
could look
takes his
brothers,
glasses.
totally.
Yeah.
He could be his older brother. Yeah.
Yeah, so hand drops on Dexter's head and rips it the fuck off. But this is after Anton's trying to be like, guys, there's a killer. He's here. Blah, blah, blah. This is how excited I'm like getting into the film. This is what I'm doing. I hope you guys know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, chaos ensues. Everyone's trying to get out of there. Hand is somehow killing people. They're getting out. I don't know. Molly and Tanya end up going into the vent or the HVAC ducts and whatnot. Molly gets out. Tanya gets it's like a reverse yeet kind of thing.
Yeah,
kind of gets yeeted and then pulled back up.
It's a strangely harrowing scene because one, I don't think the HVAC system of the school looks like this. It's like a giant industrial fan.
Yeah.
And it probably wouldn't be that clean.
No. Well, no.
Not at all.
And it looks like something that would be in an enormous machine shop or something.
Yeah.
Or a barn, some sort of commercial farm
Yeah,
building
exactly.
or something.
Yeah, something for like a warehouse or something much bigger than that, bigger than the school. But like, it's kind of a harrowing scene, the way like she like has to stuff her shoe in the fan and the way the fan's just kind of clicking. And it's like, there's like a real tension for some reason. Like there hasn't been real tension the entire film, but now it is.
Well, the problem is, Jessica Alba's not going to die,
Right.
and what's her name in the red dress is definitely going to die
For sure.
So it's
Do you think you felt that way at that time, like when you saw when you were 14? Because I don't know if I would have felt that. I would have been like genuinely anxious.
They
probably.
set her. So the fact that she was like making out with the like dorky sidekick dead friend told me that she is 100% going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Jessica Alba is like crawling through the thing, you're like, oh, she's not going to die for sure.
No, of course not. She's the love interest.
Love interest of the main protagonist.
Yeah.
Other person though, she's definitely going to die. But I did think she was going to get chopped in half, not gallows hung.
Yeah, not hung and then spun back up into the fan and splattered everywhere.
Yeah, that was weird CGI.
That would have put it as probably rated R if that would have happened. I would have.
Well, because you don't see anything, I guess. But I did find it weird that the scene that the just little quick cut of the rope that she was hanging from getting wrapped around like whatever spinny gear or something like that. The fact that was CGI'd was weird.
Was it?
Did you notice that?
Like, was it? I mean, it looks bad, but I can't tell if it. I don't remember if it was like CGI or if it was just like sped up film.
Maybe it was sped up film. It looked weird.
It definitely looks weird. I know what you're saying, but I can't remember which way it was.
Yeah. Did we get past the monster cunnilingus scene?
Yes, we're past that.
I did want to call out that this is the second week in a row where we have monster spooky cunnilingus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really monster cunnilingus because it's regular cunnilingus, but it's definitely monster getting some boob.
Yeah.
Monster
That's
second
right.
base.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought, spooky cunnilingus.
Yeah, it's spooky because, there's two people dressed as Kiss members and one's getting head from the other, and then there's boob grab. And they're also playing like Kiss's best song, which isn't a Kiss song because it's just like, I think it was Paul Stanley, but the Back in the New York Groove. So like,
well, I wrote that down. It's like, why during that scene are they playing Back in the New York Groove?
because both members are dressed up, both members of the sex act are dressed up as Kiss members.
Oh, I thought they were dressed up just in like kind of corpse paint, I guess.
No,
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't realize that was Paul Stanley either.
Yeah, it was a time when I think he was separated from Kiss because he wrote Back in the New York Groove and then also Beth. And those are like...
See, I didn't know that was Paul Stanley. That is kind of a banger, that song.
Yeah, like they're both good. And then like now Kiss just plays them because Gene Simmons is like, well, people only know these songs and Detroit Rock City.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever.
Oh, I was going to say one more thing around the dance here is no group of teenagers have ever been collectively worse at dancing ever in history.
Yeah.
Like, it's so strange. Everyone in the scene is doing a terrible job of dancing.
Absolutely. Jessica Alba is like doing groovy hippie dance while Tanya is doing up and down jumpy dance. And then everybody else is not doing anything else. Like I don't know if they're even playing a song. Usually when you film a scene like this, you play some song.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know what the final song is going to be in the edit, you play some song so everybody can dance together.
It was during I Want to Be Sedated.
It was. But like maybe they didn't know that's the song they were going to be.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the people are clearly not dancing to that song.
Right.
Yeah, I get what you're
But
saying.
you play some sort of song that you think is going to fit that scene. But I feel like they didn't play any song and they just said dance.
They were like, music is happening. Dance. Keep dancing.
Dance like teenagers.
And Jessica Alba was like, well, I guess I'm supposed to be sexy, so whoa.
Here I go.
Yeah. She's so bad in this movie. Holy God.
I just want to like throw it back to actually how we all probably danced at dances and stuff though at that time.
We just grinded on each other. That's literally all that happens.
There's a lot of like jumping around. I remember a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of that. Yeah, like none of it was good. Like,
you know what? That makes more sense, Meg. You're probably right. Like we didn't know how to dance, and so everybody just did their own fucking thing, like the Charlie Brown gang.
We didn't have TikToks to learn how to dance.
No, we did a lot of skanking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much acted like we were in a real big fish show. No matter what, like
no matter what's playing.
Yeah.
Make it fit the beat. What's that? Edited M&M's on? Gotta pick it up.
Edited Eminem, every other word Eminem, and we're just out there skanking to it in our Jankos.
Pick it up, guys. Let's go.
Pack it up, pack it in.
That was a ska thing. Pick it up, pick it up.
Yep.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
Got it. I had to explain it. Now it's not good.
Nope, got it. I love a good explaining of a joke. Personally, always makes it funnier.
So yeah, now we're getting to I think what is like my favorite scene. So Molly is captured by the hand, which I still at this point I'm not fully wrapping my head around how this hand is capable of like moving anything.
Don't overthink it.
Don't
overthink it. Let's not get physics involved.
Get Molly on a car tied up. You know what? I'm gonna assume there's a sidekick that we never met.
We've already seen that it's
up now.
No, we've already seen that it's a very strong hand, Meg. It splatted the mom's head.
Take my strong hand.
It splatted the cunnilingus guy's head in like 2 bumps off a tempered glass. I mean that ain't nothing.
But then his head was fine 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
When he was hanging out of the car, he was just like, looks like he Ric Flair slashed himself in the forehead.
Yeah, they didn't think that one through that much. But like, yeah, it's definitely a strong hand on its own somehow.
All right. I take everything back, Steve.
No, I'm just saying, don't think about it. Don't think about it. It's fucking
saying,
dumb.
Don't beat yourself up over
There's
it.
no fucking way it tied knots to get her on the car. Like,
Yeah, how
it
would it
doesn't
even
matter.
do
It
that?
doesn't matter how strong your hand is. There's a dexterity and issue
tie
of
a
like,
knot now with one hand.
Well, and also imagine tying a knot when you already sharpened your tip of your finger in a pencil sharpener.
That was pretty
once.
sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was I remember that scene specifically when I was a kid, and like kind of like that was a freaky, scary scene to me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
dope.
It was
it's
pretty
cool.
sick. But yeah, so the hand starts basically pushing Jessica up towards a pentagram, taking her to hell. And what I love is that they were able to capture it with that puppet, and then somehow find the best bong that has ever been welded together. And get this thing high and watching the puppet's face change. I don't know why I found that to be. It was so Looney Tunes as like it was so silly that
Like when it got stoned, its eyes got all bloodshot and shit.
Yeah, for the puppet's face changes for some reason, and then finding Bong Ex Machina is pretty
Ex Machina.
hilarious
Also,
as well.
I didn't remember this, obviously, like from 25 years ago or whatever, and this movie came out, but I absolutely love the idea of before hitting a bong, all looking at each other and going, for strength. That's a great like bong cheers for strength.
I needs my spinach is also good.
I need my spinach. There's a lot of great weed puns. Yeah, like back when doing weed like was or smoking weed was doing weed. You know what I mean? Like when it was a little bit more risky. Now just like everybody smokes weed. It's not like it's not risky, but
back in my day.
Good old days when you're doing hood rat stuff with your friends.
Doing that hood rat shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need Idle Hands 2 to exist. Yeah, I mean, maybe it does as like another direct-to-video thing, but like...
Yeah, it's like David Ketchner in it or whatever.
Yeah. But like Idle Hands 2 should have like just doing fent.
To strength. You just lick the back of a fentanyl patch.
and then just everybody nods off.
There we go. Good night.
Solid. So the hand is attacking Anton. Debbie uses her, little blade there, that cute little blade. And I love how easy it is to kill this thing. Just stab it. Done. And I think that's like the perfect joke to like for it to end on with them is like, oh, that's it.
I got the idea it was some sort of ceremonial druid knife.
Yeah, it was just
sure.
Yeah,
but still, that's the joke. Is like, yeah, he throws it and it like impales the hand into Seth Green's chest. Of course, he's already a zombie, so he doesn't care.
Oh, it was on him. I
And
thought
then
it was on
he's
Anton
just
for
like,
some reason. Sorry. My bad.
No, and he's like, that's it. Like he even says like, no explosion, no nothing. That's just. He's like, I'm glad you guys are okay, but like that was lame.
I like how somehow this situation is how like Mick and Nub get like their wings type thing. I think this is
yeah. It's a little bit of a It's a Wonderful Life type situation. Yeah.
It doesn't make it. I mean, again, let's not overthink it, but like it doesn't make a terrible amount of sense because like for most of the film, they're pretty like against helping at any point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They're not helpful at all.
Let me go
Like,
back to my favorite line. This ain't no Domino's, bitch, or whatever he says.
Yeah. Like when they let the hand out and they just look at it and go, well, whatever.
Well, and then out of the microwave too, and they're like, "You let it out." And he's like, "We're hungry. We wanted burritos."
Yeah. And they're also just looking around the house as it's all fucked up. And they're like, we're not cleaning any of this up. This ain't our house.
Well, that's the best line. That was a good line too. I laughed out loud at that one. He's like, look at this. He's like, yeah, we'll just clean. Yeah, well, you know what? And while we're at it, we'll clean the whole house. Fuck that shit. Then this ain't our mess.
Yeah.
It's a great, whatever.
Yeah,
I forget exactly how he says.
like
I'm
that,
paraphrasing.
for sure.
It's a great line though.
But it's a great line, but it's like kind of overarching for the entire film. It's like, this ain't our mess. We're not dealing with any of it. We're going to have burritos and try to make out with Devil Girl.
Yeah,
and
we're
like,
dead. Who cares? He even says at some point, he's like, that's the best thing about being dead. There's no responsibility.
Mick does one thing that's helpful, but it has nothing to do with Anton or the hams related thing. And it's when he helps Nub put his head on a stake, or like the whatever.
It's a carving fork.
And sticks it down his esophagus thing and just sticks it back in his mouth.
Sticks it on his stump and gives him a duct tape job to hold in the burrito goo.
Like
Which that was all great. Yeah. Yep. The day is saved though.
It's funny because as any good 90s movie is gonna, especially 90s teen comedy, teen horror comedy, whatever, you gotta finish with rapid fire, bang, 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 sexism, homophobia. Like you got to get like a rapid fire right at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Get all your jokes in at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solid.
And that's where you get the big laughs too. That's where you get the big laughs. Yeah. I'm going to go molest a nurse. And then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I forget something like that. It's just like sexism, homophobia. Yeah. It's like, let's squeeze a couple more sexist and or homophobic jokes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the 90s, and that's where it stays.
I mean, they definitely leave it open. I feel like that there could have been a second Idle Hands, but I think with such a box office flop, they're like, nah, blah. Because like when Anton at the end of the movie is like, he sees the same sign or like the I'm under your bed thing, which I don't know if he's just like re-seeing the same thing, but I think it was in a different location if I remember. But
no. That was a prank pulled by Mick and Peanut.
Yeah.
They said they painted it as they're going down the hall doing their sexist and homophobic jokes.
He goes like, should we tell them that we wrote that on the ceiling?
Yeah, that's the end of the movie. Go out on some molestation jokes.
Molestation and homophobia. All right, credits. 1999.
Bing bang. True Rage Against the Machine or Sublime or whatever the fuck played it.
Yeah, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Go.
I think Steve's changing his resolution that he wants to officially kill Sublime from the radio, from existence. I think that's a good goal for this year.
I can't. Like it's too ingrained in too many like. The losers in high school that were really into Sublime, that had it like ingrained into their DNA, are now 40, 45, and they just want it on DVE all the time. My only saving grace is like I don't have to listen to DVE or the X anymore.
That's true.
Technology has advanced me.
I'm just going to start singing Santeria to you every once in a while. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to torture you just a little bit.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been to any karaoke bar ever in the history of Beaver County? Because you're going to hear Santeria back to 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 back. You're going to hear Living on a Prayer. You're going to hear Santeria. You're probably going to hear like Drowning Pool and like I don't know. It's you're going to hear the same 4 songs and then probably a Billy Joel song and that's Beaver County karaoke.
Probably Billy Joel, but then definitely Garth Brooks' Friends in Low Places.
Oh shit. I completely forgot. That might be number 1 above all else.
Yeah.
You're going to hear that. Yeah. And then a bunch of like friends that are there for someone's birthday or a bachelor party are going to like stand up and put their arms around each other. It's going to be real cringy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I have been that kind of drunk.
We all have, guys. All right.
Idle Hands, y'all. You're welcome.
You did it, Meg. We've been there. We've done Idle Hands. We've went the whole way back to 1999. We partied like it was that particular year. Guys, we don't know what we're gonna do next episode, huh? So it's gonna be a little surprise.
No, we don't.
We're gonna be a little surprise.
We can talk off here.
We have ideas, and then we have, I mean, it is a 5 Monday month as well. So we have 3 weeks of who knows what's going to happen.
Oh, anything could happen, guys. It's probably going to be movies. All right, come on back. Check it out.
Come on back,
by the way, let me remind you one more time. If you don't already, you probably should go follow us on the old social medias. And you are going to see in the coming days an opportunity in the stories and or on a little poll on the Twitter to vote for our February Showdown episode, which the topics, let me remind you once again, micro budget gems, apocalyptic horror, or big shitty spooky. And then next episode, we will talk about what our movies are going to be for that said Showdown episode. Guys, anything else I'm forgetting?
No, not really. Again, if you go back to last week's episode, we did Possession, and Possession is now out on Shudder.
Yes. I don't know if you knew that was coming when you picked it, or if that was just serendipitous, but
Nah, it was kind of more serendipitous. Like, I knew I was gonna pick Possession when Cosmic Horror got picked, and then I think like a couple days later it was announced it was on Shudder. I was like, oh, that's great. It's gonna be a lot less hard for people to fucking watch this movie because it's pain in the ass to watch it otherwise.
It really was. Yeah, it really was. It was hard to find for a while. So if you haven't seen it, that's probably one movie that we've talked about recently that you may not have seen. You've all seen Idle Hands. Actually, I posted something on Instagram about a little clip of fucking Dexter, fucking what's his name?
Dexter Holland getting his head ripped off.
And like, was like, hey, name that flick or whatever kind of thing on a reel. And like everyone's like, oh, Idle Hands, love that movie, blah, blah, blah. And then there's just always those couple fucking dorks that are like, that's easy. Do a harder one. I'm like, it's not really a game, guys.
You don't win anything.
It's just to get you to comment, and you did. You dumb fuck.
It was to let you know what the episode was gonna be.
Yeah, you smooth fish brain fuck.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, check us out over on the social medias where we flame people who comment on our posts. You bitches, fuck you. I'm double middle fingering you, by the way. All right, guys. For the Halloween is Forever crew, I'm Brian.
I'm Meg.
I'm one of Dexter Holland's PhDs in molecular biology.
You're not. Bye.